Hello there and welcome to the Client Success webinar series presented by GShift. Today's topic is 2014, a look ahead at the trends in content marketing. My name is Gilmore. I'm one of the newest members to the Client Success team here at GShift. I have 5 years experience in e-commerce. I'm an analytics enthusiast, and in my spare time I enjoy watching TV shows and movies. Here's a brief rundown of what today's agenda looks like. First off, we'll start with reviewing last year's 2013 and what happened in that time period. And then we'll look ahead to 2014, tell you what's coming, what's already here, what's going to continue, in particular in areas of SEO, social, content, and mobile. And then we'll finish off the presentation with questions and answers. The main purpose of today's presentation is to give your business an edge in 2014. What is GShift? GShift is a piece of software that reports web presence analytics for businesses and agencies. We make it simple for brands to be massively discovered in a social and mobile world, processing billions of data points for over 10,000 brands across 22 countries. So looking back at 2013, in 2013 we saw many changes in our space. Those changes include the update of Penguin 2.0. Penguin 2.0 took a deeper look at pages. It also penalized black hat tactics, including paid links. Paid links on any website should be a no-follow and clearly indicate that they are paid, so there's no deception to the end user. Knowledge Graph was really introduced much deeper into Google's search algorithms and had the results pages, and now it's being used in thousands of different searches. In-depth articles was also introduced this year, last year. So those allowed to provide more in-depth knowledge and show off your resources. In particular in the science and technology areas, healthcare, where you can provide a lot more detailed technical information and enrich your audience with content. That was introduced in fall of 2013. Not provided data spiked up to about 80% of all keyword queries in 2013, causing a bit of panic in the fall. Currently it's about kind of leveling off around the 80%, but that is to be expected to go up to 100% in a short period of time. Not provided, what is that, you may ask yourself. That is how Google is protecting the end user by encrypting what they're searching and not providing that information to the webmaster for analytical purposes. Bing has yet to do this, but they are starting to look into the possibility. Hummingbird was the biggest Google update to their search algorithm in over 10 years. It affected 90% of all searches, but not in a negative manner such as previous updates, Penguin and Panda, Caffeine, for example, in the past. Hummingbird actually went mostly unnoticed for a full month before Google announced it. And it's actually a focus more on quality and relevancy of results rather than focusing on getting all the bad stuff out. It's more focusing on getting more relevant content to the user when they're searching. It's particularly helpful for voice search, also known as conversational search, and mobile results. And YouTube and Google Plus got hitched in 2013, marrying them up. In particular, Google Plus is now used for commenting on YouTube and also logging in, marrying the two accounts up and showing that partnership and dedication to the Google Plus platform going forward by Google. This partnership also opens up new opportunities for you as a business owner on YouTube to partner up with a community on the Google Plus and communicating with your audience. The main purpose of this partnership was to build a bigger community, but it was also to show more relevant content, comments, and kind of clean that area up, which has always been left the same since its inception over 5 years ago. So looking ahead to 2014, These are some of the things we predict that will continue to happen, or new things that may happen in 2014. Knowledge graph and rich snippets will continue to be used in search, and their use will be increasing. We've already seen in the last year the use of rich snippets have gone down, a decrease of over 25%. Not everybody gets to use them. Only quality sites will get to use rich snippets in their search results. Knowledge graph is showcased on the right there with Eric Schmidt. It kind of gives you a quick look at Eric Schmidt. Tells you what your result, the query that you searched, gives you a quick look at information about that query, and then kind of shows you some related searches relative to that. All this information is pulled from various data points on the internet. Wikipedia is a large source of that information, but it also comes from various other points as well. And then it also gives you just a quick snapshot of that query that you're searching for. Particularly useful for people, events, businesses, and holidays and locations as well. Also show up really well in the knowledge graph. Rich snippets, again, they've been in use for a couple years now. What is a rich snippet? Rich snippet is a piece of code developed by Schema Organization, which is an organization put together with all the different search engines, which basically just helps identify what your code actually is saying, and allows the search engines to use that data in their search results to enhance the user's experience. Examples of rich snippets include pricing, reviews, local addresses, and various other things like that. For full information, you can visit schema.org, or we do also have a blog post on our website. Google authorship will continue to rise this year, and the introduction of author rank will probably be introduced later this year. This is a hot topic in 2013 and will continue in 2014. Google authorship is the ability to showcase what content you write and showcase that across the whole internet. So for example, if you write on your own personal blog, and then maybe you guest post or share your content with other websites, you can still get credit for that piece of content with Google authorship, which is main purpose is to showcase different content from quality authors across the internet. Author rank is taking that to the next level, where content will be ranked based on the quality of that author. So a popular writer for, say, the New York Post or the New York Times or anything like that will be obviously have a good quality, high ranking versus maybe a local paper in a small town in North Dakota. So this small things like that will take place later this year. Author ranks details are not fully released yet because it hasn't actually taken place as far as experts can see, but factors such as social signals, amount of content, quality of content will probably more than likely take place. Also, their Google Plus presence will also be highly a factor in their author rank, we predict. A focus on page level metrics when reporting will continue in 2014 with more not provided data. It's important to get insights into what pages are actually being visited, and then kind of make some educated assumptions on what keywords or content is driving in that traffic, so you can continue to build your audience. GShift software will be providing not provided insights this year, and we're looking forward to showcasing that very soon, where we will actually take a look at how you're ranking and then show the correlation of keywords to not provided data. We also encourage monitoring long-tail keywords this year with more and more conversational and semantic searches. It's important to monitor long-tail keywords to get an idea for people searching for specific things, and making sure your content's being found for those things. An example of that may be a specific error or specific phrase that's relative to your business. For example, say you're in computer repair, it may be saying, how do I put in a new motherboard, or motherboard installation procedure, or simple things like longer tail phrases instead of just motherboard installation. You might want to be a little more specific in the keywords you're tracking just to see if you're ranking. You may be ranking well for motherboard installation, but you may not be ranking well for how do I install a motherboard, which is actually more important to you because that's what your content will be more about. Backlinks will continue to be a factor in SEO, though their importance isn't as high as it once was. The focus now, more than ever, is on quality versus quantity. Focus on relevant, quality backlinks from content sites that have relevancy to your brand and your business, rather than just going to any website that'll link to you and doing a link exchange. There's no connection to a wedding shop with a mechanic. There's no point in sharing a link with those two sources. Just make sure the links are relative to your business. If you need help with this, you can use our software to get an idea what kind of links your competitors have, and you can also use our CSMs. We'll be happy to help you, provide you some insights and some opportunities for you to grow your business. So this kind of shows you a quick picture showing you search engine algorithms have shifted the marketing game. Hummingbird plus not provided have made it much more difficult to get keyword insights and make keyword research much more challenging. Quality score is obviously built up of a bunch of different factors that Google takes into place, such as keyword relevancy, mobile speed, the content on the landing page, and now even social signals are taking a part of the Google algorithm. And then the introduction of Google authorship has shifted everything. This is an example of how the knowledge graph would work in the local example. This is being tested in the United States in some markets. But essentially they're collecting all the review data and presenting it in a very easy to read format. Pardon me. This particular user searched Mexican restaurants near New York. The top result was an actual restaurant rather than a list of restaurants, and at the top it lists a bunch of different restaurants and shows you their reviews and how many reviews they have, and allows you to quickly see different relevant queries to your search, relevant results to your query. Pardon me. Here's an example of a textual search that I mentioned a few slides ago there. So flower stores in Toronto is a textual search, where a conversational search may be saying, I'm looking for a flower store in Toronto. This is particularly used usually on mobile devices, or by using the voice search within your browser by clicking the little microphone button in Google. This allows you to do voice search. It's important to factor in conversational searches when monitoring keywords to see how you're ranking and if you're relative. Some topics, the results may be very similar, but as you can see between these two, one doesn't have local listings, the other one does. So Google's smartening up in how they display the results and understanding what you're searching for. In 2014, for social, we predict the following will happen or continue to make an impact. Google Plus will continue to grow. This isn't a big surprise to anyone, I'm sure, but the adoption of Google Plus has grown over the last few years, especially with the adoption of Android. Most Android users are forced to use Google Plus or sign up for an account anyways. So that definitely helps spike the growth. The adoption of actually using it, though, will continue to grow in 2014. In 2014, we also predict that they'll change up their platform a bit, maybe introducing some new features that make it even more easy to use, and updating some features such as their Hangouts to make it even easier to use and more compatible with the user's expectations. Curating content and collaboration will continue to grow in 2014. This means getting your information from multiple sources, putting your own take on it, collaborating with other businesses. This is very particularly important in the B2B field, where we're seeing a growth of interest in co-hosted events, co-hosted webinars, and social media campaigns with multiple businesses colliding. This is always highlighted in particular around the Olympics. You always see this sort of thing, but we'll see this growing out further with multiple other events as well. Viral content creativity will continue in 2014. We all know the different viral videos that take place every year, with more and more happening. YouTube even has an award show last year, so we'll see that continue to grow in 2014 with some new content. Some main topics that may be popular this year are yet to be seen. But last year's, who knew that one of the biggest hits of the year would be about a fox and what a fox says? Don't even ask me that question. So it's important to monitor and think outside of the box to come up with ideas for viral content for your business. If you need ideas, speak to your CSM. We'll be happy to brainstorm with you and come up with some cool ideas that your business can apply to help grow your social presence. The most important thing in social, arguably, which will probably never go away, is consistency, which will continue to be important in 2014. Ensuring your message is consistently broadcasted on the various networks. You have a consistent message with consistent branding, and you're consistently putting it out there. That's the most important factor in social, and continually growing your audience through social is consistently putting messaging and branding out there. Don't forget, you can monitor your social presence within our software. You can do this with you can even get even more social insights now with our brand new Solo Mo bundle, which stands for Social, Local, and Mobile, which is a brand new package with features that were just developed in 2013, late 2013, and it includes the feature of Twitter search, where we'll actually monitor hashtags and content keywords right within Twitter and provide you some insights into that. So an example of that would be here. This kind of showcases the phrase mobile SEO. In the time period reported in this slide here, you'll see that there's 7,471 exact matches tweets on Twitter, which means basically there's 7,471 tweets that contain the phrase mobile SEO. Influencers, that's how many people tweet it. So there's 4,654 people that use that phrase. And then it kind of gives you some different phrases, associated terms, some other terms that may be relative to mobile SEO. Hashtags, how many of those tweets actually used hashtags with mobile SEO as the main hashtag. And then kind of gives you content. So content, that's how many links were shared with that phrase. So this is deeply powerful for discovering new content, new influencers, and curating content for social media. This is available to you as an add-on to your additional package, and you can contact your CSM or sales for details on that. Here's an example of the associated terms. So for example, with mobile SEO, very common phrases include fundamentals, web, strategy, marketing, things to be expected, but it's always interesting to see how often those phrases are associated. This shows you the influencers, so this shows you some of the main people that are using those terms, exact matches many times. Shows you how many followers, how many friends they have. Tells you what their handle is, so you can go out and follow them and connect with them to make that connection to grow your presence. This is the content section, so this kind of shows you exactly what links are being shared and gives you an opportunity to see if any of that content is relative to yours, or if it isn't, maybe you can see maybe consider writing content similar to that because you know how viral it can be. In regards to content in 2014, we predict the following will happen or continue to make an impact. Answer questions with your content. So in 2013, the introduction of Hummingbird, searching for relevant content for users, that's where the introduction of answering questions with your content becomes even more important. So we always recommend having a frequently asked questions page where you can give a short sentence with your answer and then link over to a full post expanding on that answer where you possibly can. And make sure you're writing your content in a way that it answers questions so that it's very informative and shows really good value to the end user. Visual aspects within your content will continue to grow. Some businesses are already using this in a very, very adaptable format. Other businesses are starting to use it. It's important to put a visual aspect into your content, even just to draw the attention to your content. Don't let it take away from it, but it should just add value to your content. Some examples of visual content that will continue to grow in 2014 include infographics, which are used to basically visually represent a concept or topic in a very easy to understand way. We'll have an example of that shortly. The other important thing with visual content is the adoption of tablets and mobile phones. That basically showcases the importance of mobile and a visually rich experience online. Video will also continue to take off in 2014. YouTube will continue to grow. Vimeo for creatives, Instagram, Vine. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another brand new one coming into play this year, which will take off in the video space. Don't forget you can monitor the performance of your videos within our software. We provide ranking data along with views and how many subscribers you're getting on your YouTube channel. This is very useful information for providing performance metrics on your content. So don't forget to do that, and make sure you're using. Remember, you can track off-site pages, so blogs, other people's blog posts that you're contributing to within our software, and that's one of our unique selling points. So make sure you're using that feature to track your content and track your web presence online. If you need help with any of these features, contact your CSM. Again, we'll be happy to help you. So here's an example of how you can measure your content within our software. It shows you how many views you're getting, your bounce rate, how many conversions you're getting from that one piece of content, social signals, how many +1s you're getting, how many tweets you're getting, where it's being shared the most. Gives you a quick screenshot of that content, shows you how you're ranking for a particular keyword, and then kind of shows you how much weight do you have coming into it with backlinks. Shows you that kind of information. Deeply powerful stuff. The other important thing to factor in with content is mobile. Mobile page speed is a major factor within mobile, and Google's taking that into effect for ranking. It was said by Matt Cutts last year. You wouldn't be surprised if we soon take mobile page speed into account for SEO. Well, they're already doing it. We already know page speed is a factor. So it's important to have making sure your pages are loading fast. There's no unnecessary code in there. So make sure your code's cleaned up and just loading at a good speed. 1 to 2 seconds is a good baseline to go after. Here's an example of an infographic that is used. This particular infographic is about infographics, so so that's kind of a pun there, but it kind of gives you an idea of how you can visually represent something with charts, interesting metrics, and just basically display in a visually enhancing way. Infographics are great for sharing in social media, and they usually go viral really quickly, especially if it's interesting content. Mobile, in 2014, we predict the following will happen. Site speed will definitely be a factor, even more visually by the end of the year. Responsive design will continue to grow as a design trend, and also, what is responsive design, you may ask? Responsive design is when your site can basically adapt to the different screen sizes that it's going to be on. Responds, hence the name responsive, and basically make sure you have a good user experience on all 3 screens. So that's very important in 2014. If you don't have a mobile site yet, and you're considering a redesign or a new design, go for responsive. It'll save you money, but it also makes sure you have that continued brand experience throughout. And then content for mobile, making sure your content is short, easy to read paragraphs. It's not too hard to read on the smaller screen, has some images in there to illustrate your point, and making sure you use keyword phrases and have all your keyword content in there. And then use click to call links within your content, so users just click on the button to call you, and it goes to the phone app on their phone and starts that conversation with you. So some research that we did in 2013 was around mobile devices. We found that 25% of traffic comes from mobile on over 6,000 web presences within our software. This data could be higher. I would predict it's probably even higher for your business. So definitely check out your metrics on that to see how important mobile plays a part in your web traffic. As part of the Solo Mo bundle, we'll be also providing rank data within locals. So, for example, in New York, we can find out where you rank for a specific keyword on a particular device. This is a brand new feature that we're just rolling out, but now you can get rank data on mobile versus desktop, which is very useful, in particular in more competitive fields. Sometimes they'll be exactly the same, but other times they may be very different. So this is a particular interesting area that we'll be introducing, and if you want to find out more about this, contact us and ask about the Solo Mo bundle. So some important things for expanding your keyword research for mobile devices. You want a full diverse range of phrases that you're tracking. So for example, for flower shop, maybe flower shop, flower store Toronto, flower store Toronto, maybe flower shop in Toronto. And all of these different terms will come up with different results usually. You could also do, I am looking for a flower shop, looking for a flower store, I'm looking for a flower shop in Toronto. Keep in mind with geography, that Google will find your IP address and factor that in when doing searches. But for more specific results, or if you're not happy with the results, usually users will put in the geography afterwards. So Toronto, or if they're new to the area and they have their default set for a different city or region, then they may put in Toronto in there. This is a study from Nielsen. In November 2013, they released this study. 74% of all users use a search engine to start their shopping process. So this is particularly interesting for e-commerce merchants on the call today, and definitely make sure you have your mobile experience optimized for your site. So just to end this off, we have a special promotion going on. What's included is a mobile discoverability audit, where we'll be basically auditing your mobile presence, making recommendations on local and social, along as your mobile, and we'll provide some keyword research and recommendations, along with a SWOT analysis. This package is particularly 4 hours of services. There's special pricing available. Then we also have a mobile discoverability plus competitive analysis, which is 6 hours, which includes all the above plus a look at 3 of your competitors' performances on mobile. Pardon me. So I just want to thank you very much for your time today and learning with us. I hope you found this webinar useful, and I hope you're able to take some of the concepts and discussions today away with you and apply them to your business. Always eager to hear any feedback you guys have for our first client success webinar. My email is brandon.gilmore@gshiftlabs.com, and we open it up to any questions at this time. We'll do our best to answer any questions you have, and if we're unable to get back to you in the time provided, your client success manager will get back to you afterwards. So we'll be happy to do that. Just a quick memo. Next month's webinar topic is on Hummingbird. We'll find out what the buzz is all about. The presenter next month will be Crystal Wiltshire. She's a CSM here at GShift. And the date for that webinar is February 19th, 2014 at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.